know her a little better, which is great. But a little birdie told me not too long ago that Sam has amazing skills with regards to customer acquisition, and even more so has done an amazing call on developing the skills for customer acquisition. So I asked Sam to link arms with me on the call tonight to spend 15 minutes, so condensing her half an hour call down into a 15-minute call, about this, very simple principles of what you think it really takes to acquire a good base of customers, because at the end of the day, we're really looking for that 20 to 30 customers to have a qualified business. And then once we've got a qualified business, help others to do the same and really develop our clubs. So Sam, without gabbing on anymore, I'm just going to hand straight over to you, my friend, and go for it.
Thank you. Hey guys, my name's Sam Reed. I'm a senior sales coordinator. I'm going to try my best to just condense this down to 50 minutes. I've got a little stopwatch and everything, so I'll do my best. So I did this training for a leadership retreat I did not that long ago, and it's actually really basic but simple and kind of brilliant for understanding where your customers come from. So the first one is one for me personally. I thought this was where all my customers came from, but there's a lot of other sections. So the first one is your warm market. So think of these as your family and your friends. Also, if you've got another business, this is your client base. These are the people that you've already built relationships with that you can potentially go to and offer Juice Plus. These are actually the hardest ones to go to. It's the one that we all go to because it's the people that we know and love, but it's the hardest one. So for me, I've split this into 5 outcomes that I always try and get to after it might be a Facebook message, it might be a phone call, it might be a meeting. So 1 of 5 outcomes. The first one is an attendance at an event. So it's very much intuition based, this. I can tell based on having a conversation with somebody or sending a message what kind of event they're going to resonate with, whether they're going to resonate more with like maybe a fitness event, or it's actually about food, or they need a bit more of the community. So I use my intuition to go, what kind of event is it this person needs to come to? And the only objective I'll give myself for that particular talk is get them to an event. Or second one, coffee catch up. And this is where I just need to be really honest. I built my whole SSC business pretty much on coffee catch ups. I work really, really well face to face with people. So I did the whole thing like that. And if I had a particularly quiet week, or I had a lull in my business, I'd be like, right, I'm just going to book in loads of coffee catch-ups with people. And that would kind of get the ball rolling. I wouldn't go into these coffee catch-ups with the intention of Juice Plus. They may have been a current customer or possibly even somebody in the business, but just an opportunity for us to connect and possibly shift something that's going on for them, maybe bring, a customer into the business, or somebody that used to be a customer back as a customer, because it's our network. Third one is a 3-way call. I don't use this one so much anymore, but this is where I can outsource. So, for those guys out there that are new into the business, don't always feel like you've got to do everything yourself. If you've got a particularly difficult person, or you're struggling with that conversation, you don't think they're going to resonate with an event, just see if you can speak to your upline or somebody else that you know in the business, and see if they'll tap in and do a 3-way call. Fourth one, send specific information. So you want to come out of that conversation with somebody, whether it be Facebook message, a phone call, or whatever, with, okay, I'm going to send this information to you, and then you get back to me about what you think. And then the 5th one, which is a sale. Now, just let's be honest, it's not normal to get a sale right in the first conversation you have with somebody. So don't expect that. There is some people, very rarely, that you'll just go and have one conversation with, and then they'll be like, boom, I want to do it, which is great if that happens. Just the power of, our phones these days, you can just pop the order in and boom. But that's rare. But that's the 5 outcomes I would say you would be looking for having an interaction with either your friends, your family, or a client that you're already in business with. Now that's the warm market. That's the market that we think all our business comes from. But I've sort of broken it down and been like, there's actually other ways that you can get clients. Second one, current customers. This one is the gold dust. We totally don't think that there's anything else in it. It's like, once you've got a customer, they're in, that's it, done. And this all sort of stems from great customer care, building a relationship with that particular customer, finding out about them, what kind of friends, family they've got, what kind of work they do. And if it's the foundation of a great business, because if you solidify some really great customer care with that person, particularly at the beginning of their journey, you build up a level of trust, you build up this level of support where you become the go-to person. So then this person may go to work one day, everybody at work is sick, and they're like, oh, I'm not sick. And everybody at work's like, why aren't you sick? Why aren't you sick? Oh, I take these Juice Plus things. I don't know about them, but my friend Sam does. You become the go-to person. So the journey that you are ideally wanting your customers to have is you want them to go from customer, which is like, you know, that 0 to 4 month mark, to a raving fan, which I've kind of, in my head, I've gone 8 months. You know, you want the first box is when the detoxification happens. Second box is when they really start to feel brilliant. After that second box, they're a raving fan. That's when you start to get referrals. That's when they start to send their family to you. That's when they start to tell their friends about you. Then after a while, if you get a couple of referrals, you can have that conversation. Hey, you know what? You've sent a couple of people to me now. Have you ever considered this as a business? Then that person becomes virtual franchisee. From there, potentially leader, potentially an NMD leg, 100 club, like you never know. But it all stems from great customer care right from the beginning. And we kind of, well, I'll just be honest, I've kind of got into the mindset of thinking that I've really had to shift my mindset around customers, that when you get a sale and you get a customer, that's not the end. That's actually just the beginning. That person could be like your absolute number one frontline team, but you've got to nurture that relationship. You've got to nurture it through the first box. You've got to nurture it through the second box, and you've got to still keep those relationships. So for me, my customer care, very simply, because I love those coffee catch-ups, is we just catch up. And quite often or not, throughout the conversation, I'll end up saying something to them like, do you know anybody at the moment that you think needs something like this? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I do. I'm like, do you want to just like put us in a group Facebook message or something and I can have a chat with them? I actually have built pretty much my whole customer base on that, because I've got somebody on board, and then I've got the sister on board, and then like the sister's friend got pregnant and they wanted to come on board, and it's all just been word of mouth. And I truly think it's because I've just built, I'm like not just great customer care, like they're my friends. I can honestly say all the customers that I've got are friends of mine. They were people I was involved with before, but if they weren't, I've made an active effort to build a relationship with them. So I become a person of trust for them, and they know that whether they carry on the product or they don't, that the lines of communication are always open with us. So there is a gold mine in your customer base. Don't forget about them, because if you just convert all of those people into virtual franchisees and they all become leaders and you just keep filling up your customer base, you've got a totally successful business. So that's number 2. Number 3 is joint ventures. So we were learning about this at the weekend. This is something that is kind of new to me in network marketing, because if you want to team up with a joint venture, is basically working with a company who has the same kind of client or customer that you want to work with, but you're not in direct competition with. So the only thing with this is you do want to make sure, if you're going to try and team up with somebody, that they absolutely at the beginning do not want to do the business. Because of course, if you're going to team up with somebody and they're sending you lots of people, it's usually just viable for them to come into the business. So this is where those great relationships are forged. So it's perhaps depending on what you do and what field you're in. For me, if I'm ever thinking of somebody as a joint venture, so I've got a couple of like yoga studios and stuff at the moment, just people that I'm friends with. So I'm also like a body therapist. I do Emmett and Bowen therapy. I offer them just free treatments. I'll just say to them, hey, do you want to just come along? We'll have a chat and we just exchange services. It's just getting to know each other, what kind of vibe I give off, what kind of vibe they give off, and we just like nurture that relationship. And I know that they've got a huge network of people behind them, but it's not necessarily about just tapping into that network. It's about building the trust and the rapport with that person so that they are happy to refer people to you. Because sometimes when people, you know, if they're building their own businesses, they will categorically say to you, like, I don't want to do like Juice Plus. It's in the business. I'm too busy and I'm happy doing what I'm doing. That's totally cool, that there might be people in your network that want it, and that's great. If you can keep, if you solidify that relationship and nurture that relationship, and you guys like go back and forth about your interests in health and wellness, because you'll usually be joint venturing with somebody in the same field, you again will become the person of trust, and they will be happy and just very autonomously send people over to you. So it's thinking about people that you can build relationships with that will have a significant network, not just because of their network. Like, you can't fake that relationship and just get in on their people, but think about people that are significant and have a lot of influence on a fair few amount of people that you know that you could probably work with. So that's number 3. Number 4, events. Now, when I say events, I don't mean JP events. I actually just mean anything. So another thing that I do when I'm getting stuck, if I feel like I'm getting stuck, and I've just booked in a day a week with my upline to just do stuff like this, it's going to any event that is in your values. Just get out of your house. Like, you don't necessarily have to go to a network marketing event or even a networking event. Like, if you, for example, I'll use myself as an example. I love alternative healing. I love anything to do with crystals, anything to do with meditation, mindfulness, all of that stuff. So if I'm getting really stuck, what I'll do is I'll just go onto Eventbrite and just see all the events, like free events, chakras, crystals, all of that stuff. And I'll just go to them, because I know that they're the kind of people that I would want to be speaking to. And because I'm at an event that's in my values, I'm going to be inspired, I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to be wanting to share what I do. Now, the values thing is really important here. Like, I used to be in corporate, but I'm not anymore, and I hated it. So if I was going to go into the city and go to a networking event, guarantee within a couple of minutes, I would just shrink, because I'd be like, this isn't my space. This isn't where my heart's open. I don't like it. And I wouldn't be able to speak about anything that I was doing because I'm not in my space. And like, I love dogs too. So a great one for me is I just go to dog events. Like, there's loads of stuff on Facebook groups, meetup groups, where you can just find people that have similar interests to you, and you can just go, and you'll always be able to have a conversation because you're doing the same thing. And because you're happy, you'll totally be giving off that energy and that vibe all the time, and people will just want to know what you do. For me, when I go through moments with big success in my business, it's never because I'm really trying. It's truly because I'm just living, and I'm in a really happy space, and people just sort of want to know what I'm doing. They just speak to me. So all the relationships I have with maybe even current friends or meeting new people, they just kind of become attracted to me because I'm super happy. But this is where you just got to own what it is that you enjoy doing. If you don't like going to sporting events, don't go to sporting events. Just go to things that you enjoy. If you're somebody that likes to just hang out in cafes all the time, which I do, I'll tell you, one day, that was another way that I tried to get myself like going again. I just cafe hopped for about 8 hours. And I was like, this is brilliant. Just talking to people, trying coffee, like chatting, because I'm in my space there and I'm happy there, and people want to know how I've got all this time to just go around cafe hopping. Anything you like, it can be any event. Just get out of the house, just get out, do what you love doing, and start chatting to people. There's people everywhere. Even when you're going, like the farmers market's a great one. Every time I go to the farmers market, every store, I'll talk to people, because it's just, you're in a common place, everybody loves it. And like, what a perfect opportunity to build a relationship. Not a perfect opportunity of selling Juice Plus. Let's be honest, nobody's probably going to buy Juice Plus from you from one conversation, but you build a relationship, you build a rapport, you connect on Facebook, they start watching the stuff that you post. This happens to me all the time. And then every now and again, you'll just get a message from this person going, hey, I really love the stuff you're doing. Do you mind just going into a bit more detail about what it is you do? Brilliant. And it wasn't that like I live my life to get people to ask me what I do. I'm just living my life. And if people want to sort of experience the same freedom, then that's just a bonus. So that's number 4. And then 5, finally, I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because it's not my field, but it's social media. And I'm sure Tamara, after everything she's learned this weekend, there'll be another call about this kind of stuff. But what I will say on social media, because for a lot of us, we seem to go massively into our head when it comes to social media, like the do's and don'ts, and everybody says I'm supposed to do this. Remember, the generation of today and the world today is just, it is online, but it's still, people still want to see you an authentic heart. They still want to see you. So anything that you're putting on Facebook, if it's about Juice Plus or network marketing, whatever it is, that you just do it authentically. You have to really feel honest about what you're saying. Like, we all know what it's like to see a post from somebody that's just scripted because they think that's how they're going to get business, and it's just dead. You can just feel it. You're like, well, they don't really believe in what they're doing. I really never post about Juice Plus. I just post about the lifestyle that it facilitates for me, because that's what I love and that's what brings people to me. So I think if social media is an avenue that you want to go down, just make sure that you get the right advice about what to do and that you're not wasting your time. But if it's as much as just having your own personal page that you post on every day, just be 100% mindful and authentic about the type of post that you put up. It's always an extension of you. It's not like this other world that you get read differently. People can feel when you're genuine and when you're not. So just make sure that you're always posting in your values and not other people's. If you're not actually really into food, don't post about food. If it's more about lifestyle for you, post about lifestyle, because people will totally pick up on what's real for you. You can smell a worm a mile away, and even if you're not sensitive to this stuff, when you're going through your Facebook and you see people just write stuff, you think you don't actually believe that at all, and you just next one. But you can also see the people that like 100% believe in what they're doing, and they might not write anything about health, anything about Juice Plus, anything about food, but you'll feel compelled to want to ask them what they're doing. So just remember, yes, it's on a computer, and yes, we hide behind a screen, but it's still you, and it still needs to be 100% authentic. So they're my 5. I will actually just take a picture of these and I'll post it to Hunters and Gatherers on my notes if you guys want any. But yes, that's it. Thank you very much, Tamara.
Sam, never going to call you Sammy ever again. Sam, that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, really sensational. The great thing is, guys, I've recorded this, so I will post it to the YouTube page so that you can all go and listen to it again, because that was 20 minutes of absolute gold. Thanks, Sam. Really appreciate it. Guys, I'm just going to wrap up for the last 10 minutes about some questions. Question and answer time. I'm just going to try and pin myself. I don't know if I can pin myself. Let's see. Let's go. Pin video. Oh, there I am. Okay, so quite often I get little SMS messages and Facebook messages and private messages from people asking me questions about the product and its suitability and so on. So here's the opportunity. If you have a burning question that you get asked a lot, and please don't ask if it fixes any disease processes, because we all know what the answer to that is. Can you post it in the little chat section? And I'll see if it's something that I can answer. I've also asked a few people on here what questions they get answered. So I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes just going through them. The first one that I get on a regular basis, probably at least once a week, is this safe in pregnancy? And the very confident answer that you can give is yes. This is a product that people are quite fine to take in pregnancy and are quite okay to take, children can take as well. And you know when you've got a product, and that goes for our complete or our capsules or even our chews, you know that you've got a product that is safe if it can be taken by pregnant women and also children. So yes, our product can be taken in pregnancy. The folic acid component of the Juice Plus capsules, so I'm talking about the fruit, the vegetables and the berries, is not quite enough to satisfy Australian guidelines for folic acid supplementation. So the Australian guidelines for pregnancy are 400 micrograms. And when you add up 2 fruit, 2 veg and 2 berry, in fact, the berry doesn't have any additional folic acid, even just the 2 fruit and the 2, it comes in just under 400 micrograms. So my suggestion is this to people: either combine it with a approved pregnancy multivitamin, I'm not going to name names, but there are plenty out there on the market, or even just a pure folic acid supplement, which you can buy. The only nutrient that has been conclusively proven to be of value in the periconception, so around the time of pregnancy, is folic acid, no other nutrient. So that's the only one that really needs to be added in. And so they can just add in a pure folic acid supplement on top of their Juice Plus. They are not going to get too much folic acid because remember, we're talking micrograms, tiny, tiny, tiny little amounts. All the studies, of which I'm not a big supporter anyway, but all the studies that talk about the problems with folic acid are in milligram amounts. So, 10 times the dosage of what you'll find in Juice Plus and a pregnancy multivitamin combined. So have no dramas. You're not going to harm them by adding in a multi. So they're your options. The other option is you just increase the consumption by 1 tablet each day. So say have 1 fruit. So you have your 2 and your 2, and then you have an extra fruit one day, have an extra vegetable the next. Fruit, vegetable, vegetable. And that way they get to the bottom of their containers at the same time and they don't run out of one more than the other. So that's the sort of whole pregnancy multivitamin folate question. The other question I get asked a lot, thanks for asking it again, Jen, what is iron? Does Juice Plus have enough iron in it? And the simple answer is no. The iron in vegetables, of which, yes, there's some in kale and our green leafies, is not very bioavailable. The most bioavailable source of iron is heme iron. Heme iron comes from meat. So if you are going to consume a vegetable-based iron supplement, you're going to have to consume a crap load of it for it to be absorbed into your system. So my suggestion is don't recommend it as an iron supplement for people in pregnancy. However, the vitamin C component in all of our fruits and veggies and any multivitamin potentiates the uptake of iron. So having your Juice Plus alongside an iron supplement will actually help it work better. Juice Plus will also help increase the amount of iron bioavailability from food itself. So it's still a valuable product to be taking. And remember, we're not about necessarily improving pregnancy outcomes with Juice Plus. We are simply supporting a healthy body whilst this massively metabolic process is going on. Is it okay if someone is going to do placenta encapsulation? Charlie, what are you asking something like that for? I don't know is the simple answer. Would I eat my placenta? Probably not. But not really something that I'm going to answer today. If someone was to substitute JP, how many capsules a day would they have to do for folic acid? Did I answer that? I answered that, right? So 2 fruit, 3 veg. Next day, 3 fruit, 2 veg. All right. Any other questions? Keep asking the questions if you like, guys. Somebody asked me a question, can I cancel if I'm not happy with the product? Oh, that's a great one. I think, Hillary, you have quite a good response to that one. And also, can I cancel if I'm not happy and how much is the product? Shall I toss to you and you can answer that one?
Yes, certainly. Can I just very quickly say that was the most inspiring gift I've had for a long time. Thank you, Sam. I can't wait to listen to the recording again and again. Okay, so first of all, when someone says to you, oh, can I cancel at any time? Absolutely. The beautiful thing is that we don't get many cancellations because what we pride ourselves on is post-sale customer care. So what we find our job is to help educate people about how different Juice Plus is to other supplements that you can take. So basically I'm saying, yes, we can cancel at any time, but it's very rare. So all the time you're plugging and putting it into their mind that, I'm not going to cancel because most people don't, so it's safe and it must be done good because not many people cancel. The other question, how much is it? I absolutely beg people to ask me this, and I hope everyone can remember how to answer this. What I say is that that's the best part. And Juice Plus is so affordable, and that's why most people order almost immediately. They don't hesitate, particularly when they realise that for the price of one, they can get themselves and a child between 4 and 18, totally complimentary product for up to 4 years. Yep, no, it's not expensive at all. So the best thing is, and I still go back sometimes to the fruit and veg, it's $2.70 a day, or it's $4, about $4 if you're adding the berry blend. And mostly these days I am promoting the premium, and they can decide whether they want to. If they're hesitating, I can drop back to the fruit and veg. Have I answered what you asked me, Tamara?
Beautiful, Hills. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Pleasure.
A few more questions coming through. Hannah has asked, no, we've answered that one. Charlie, thanks. Lisa, thanks for answering the placenta encapsulation. Karina, do you have any suggestions for clients who are already taking a lot of prescription medications? And I think this also addresses Jade's question about the warning labels. Okay. So the question that you need to come back to is, would their doctor be telling them not to have certain fruits and vegetables along with their prescription medication? If the answer is yes, and obviously with blood thinning agents where people are discouraged from having vitamin K containing, so particularly green leafy vegetables, then you probably need to be mindful of when you're recommending to take fruits and veggies. So always just ask the question, you know, has your doctor told you not to have certain fruits and vegetables around taking prescription medication? The same thing goes with the warning labels. So Jade, up until a couple of years ago, we didn't actually have that on the label. We didn't actually have to say to people, look, you know, if you're on a medication that modifies your potassium or your magnesium or your sodium in your diet. And the reason, and the thing is, the product actually hasn't changed in that time. It's just now a regulation by the Therapeutic Goods Administration that supplements must have that on the label. But again, you know, my biggest go-to is, look, if you're concerned and you're on a lot of medication, please take this product along to your doctor. Now, obviously, the doctor is well within their rights to say, look, I'd really rather not you not have this medication. But then you want to prepare your customer to say, look, this is just fruits and vegetables. Do you have any problem with me taking fruits and vegetables while I'm taking my medication? If the doctor says, no, it doesn't matter if you're eating certain fruits and vegetables, then generally speaking, the Juice Plus will be fine. Again, the nutrient amounts in Juice Plus are not large. They're all in sort of milligram and microgram amounts. So they're not going to significantly impact on any health problems, aside from the ones we've talked about before, particularly blood thinning medications. Lise, thanks for answering that to Hannah. It is a vegan product. What we mean by that is the capsule itself is made from pullulan. Pullulan is a cellulose-based product as opposed to a gelatin-based product. So therefore, the entire product itself is vegan. And yes, the European products are moving to a vegetarian-based capsule. The American-based products are also a vegetarian based capsule as well. Are there any questions as we come up to 8:30? Any more questions about the products, about how they're made, about costs? Anything else that anyone is asked on a regular basis? A couple of great resources if you're ever stuck. www.juiceplusfacts.com has a lot of frequently asked questions about the product and also about the business. So if you want to go and check them out yourself, that's a really great place to go. I always think your own website is a fantastic resource to use as well, because you've got the drop-down menus on the product, how it's made. There's also lots of videos that you can access on there as well. And of course, the clinical studies if you're that way inclined. And another fantastic resource is www.experiencejp.com. Experiencejp.com. There are sections where there are short 4-minute videos that are YouTube based on the products themselves, the farms where they come from, how the products are made, healthcare professionals. But there's also one on business as well, and there's both the European and the UK potential. Hannah's asked, I thought all JP across the globe was vegan. Why is it different? Vegan and vegetarian. Vegan just means that there's no animal-based products. I've had a conversation with someone before about the fact that I believe at one point the American-based product had beeswax, and technically to a vegan, beeswax is not vegan. So you've just got to be careful about the language that you choose. I tend to just use vegetarian now because it's safe, but up until recently, in some areas, the product had a gelatin-based capsule, and so technically couldn't even be called vegetarian. Yes, beeswax. A friend put it a beeswax. Yeah. All right, kids. Well, thank you. We've reached 8:31. I know that there's a couple of other teams that have got calls on after this. I want to thank everybody so much for getting on the call tonight. A massive shout out to Sam for those absolute gems that she shared. Thank you everyone for posting your questions as well. I hope you have a fantastic week. Remember, this business is about consistency, and it's consistency in talking to people, attending events, following up customer care, and also working on self. Don't forget, next Monday night, I know it's a long weekend, but we have the amazing Presidential Marketing Director, Scott Henley, all the way from the UK, coming on our call at 8 o'clock. So mark that one in your diaries. I don't even care if you've got a glass of wine and you're putting up your heels for the weekend. Please get on that call because he's going to have some absolute gems to share. And don't forget to get your blokes on the call as well. Have a beautiful week, everybody. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy your night and have a good end of month as well.